Gina Carano absolutely wrecked Mark Hamill, which I am applauding this morning. Mark Hamill has been a piece of crap this entire time with the Trump tweets that he's doing, which we'll get into in a moment. And I mean, there's nobody who's sicker than him, really. And Gina Carano did things right. I really appreciate her work here. And let's keep moving forward and keep fighting these people with the truth, because we're going to win. After all this crap that they've been putting us through for years, we are finally on the right way and on the right path with our culture, and we got to keep pressing. All right. My name's John Delarose, everybody. Thank you for being here. I would love for you to check out my series, Justified Saga of the Nano Templar. If you enjoyed Star Wars, this is honestly way better than anything you've seen in decades from that front. I've got a full trilogy here for you. It's on Amazon, and the link in the description below. And I'll put that there. And thank you for supporting our channel and supporting our efforts here and supporting our creations. It's more important to actually create things than just constantly complain like Mark Hamill. And so we try to do that. And please hit the like and subscribe. Join our community here. I appreciate everybody who's a friend of Gina Carano, and love to have you here. All right, former Mandalorian actress Gina Carano. I can talk. Former Mandalorian actress Gina Carano. There we go. Blasted Mark Hamill as talking piece of dung after Hamill attempted to mock President Trump for praying at the National Convention of Republicans. So he took to X, and he said, "For once I'm with him, GOP snooze fest." Now, by the way, if you look at Mark Hamill's feed on Twitter, he is the most angry, bitter person I've ever seen. All he does is just Trump, 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 Trump. Angry. And you would never know that he was from Star Wars or anything like that, given his feed. It makes me wonder, are these celebrities who do this kind of stuff, are they paid by the Biden administration, the DNC, to do this kind of thing? Because it's the only way that makes sense why they're so bitter and angry like this all the time. And that's exactly what it is, bitter and angry. Now, Mark Hamill had a bunch of other nasty tweets about Trump over the past few days. This call for unity or whatever is total BS on their front, and you could tell that as he's made some sick tweets about the assassination attempt and things like that. And this just culminated another one at the top of this. Now, he pretended Trump was falling asleep here, and it was a lie, of course. So Carano, of course, repudiated him, and this is what she said right here, which is fantastic. She said, "It's called praying, Mark." Trump was closing his eyes in prayer. The man was just shot a few days ago, almost losing his life, and another man took the bullet and died protecting his family. I'm going to stop right there, because even if Trump was kind of falling asleep, if he's on pain meds and at a big thing like this, because he has to be, it's pretty badass. I couldn't get my wisdom teeth out or whatever, and then go to a big public event for hours like this. Just a couple days later. There's no way. I mean, imagine getting shot and then dealing with that and then doing that. That's pretty badass just by itself. You can't have that kind of energy. That's very rare, and it just shows his commitment to our country and awesome things like that. It's really an amazing thing. It's inspiring just as a human being. What happened to all that talk about not spreading misinformation and disinformation? You know exactly why, Gina. That's all they do. They always project. The woke always project. So whenever they accuse you of misinformation, you know exactly what's happening. Whenever they accuse you of racism or bigotry or whatever, that's them projecting. They have their own insecurities about the way that they act, and that's exactly what Mark Hamill's done here. Just doesn't count when you do it, huh? Rules for thee, not for me. How is that white Democrat male privilege treating you? Been fired from any jobs recently? And that's where she really fired the major shot at Hamill, because Hamill still gets his jobs in acting, especially with the voice acting. He still gets to come back into Star Wars for these Luke Skywalker cameos and all that. And he's still just he's celebrated. He got to go to the White House a couple months ago and proclaim Joe Biden was Joe B-Wan Kenobi in the cringiest moment I've ever seen, right? And Gina Carano has to be ostracized, has to be fired. Why? It's because she's just a Republican. She didn't do anything. But these people are so sick, and they do have a privilege here. This is just great fodder for her lawsuit for wrongful termination by Disney, because it's very clear that Disney does not hold all their actors to the same standards when you see stuff like this. Not at all. These actors can do super offensive things if they're on the left, and Disney just turns a complete blind eye, and it's so obvious now. She's going to get a massive payout. I just hope she doesn't settle too early, because I want to see this fight to the finish, and I want to see Disney with major egg on their face. They deserve it. They're just the sickest, evilest company out there. If you've watched James O'Keefe's files on the Disney, on what he's exposed with Disney, I highly recommend finding that if you've not seen it. Just nasty stuff going on, and they really, really deserve a terrible thing. So it really makes you wonder what the deep state has on you to have your head so permanently jammed up your ass to where you've become is their walking, talking piece of dung. I think he's paid, Gina. There's no way somebody acts like this so consistently without being paid. They're paying for his platform, and this is kind of what happens with these sorts of things. Have you enjoyed all your political free speech and Hitler analogies without any repercussions for the past 8 years? Don't worry, we have them all saved. Strange you weren't canceled or called out for any of it. I wonder if that time is fast approaching for you. Have a good nap. Oof. Just absolutely eviscerates him. And that's the thing, is these people are finally, the culture's changed. When President Trump got shot, enough people are like, wow, this is too far. Enough's enough. And we're seeing that things have pushed into the opposite direction now. We've seen, of course, Jack Black and Tenacious D, like, he just ended his band over the comments. We saw that Destiny, the video game streamer, is getting banned everywhere because of his nasty comments. People are done with this. We've tolerated it for a long time. These people have been just completely sheltered for a long time, completely kept in a spot where they have this privilege, where they can just lord over us, and that's changing. The corporations now have seen, oh gosh, the public sentiment's way against this. We can't get away with this anymore, and so they're quickly trying to sweep it under the rug. And so I think that the influence of people like Mark Hamill, the influence of people like this, are going to be quickly disappearing, and that's a good thing. It really is. We want these people to have their messages not amplified. We want these people to really understand what they did was terrible, in hopes that they'll change their ways. That's really what it is. But Mark Hamill's, this was not his only like cringy post, and we got to reiterate that. Here it is. He was criticizing Trump for having a bandage on his head the other day. I mean, Mark, you take a shot and then be in public if you're going to criticize this kind of thing. This is just absolutely sick. And this is just the type of sick behavior that these people have. Remember, Mark's not talking about policy and things like that. He's not trying to advocate change. He's just trying to spread hate. He's trying to encourage more people to do this kind of thing. He's trying to say, hey, this was not good enough. We need to do better in trying to remove our opposition. This is how hateful these people are. And it's on full display at this point with this sick behavior. I'm glad Gina really called him out and just absolutely destroyed him on this, because this by itself was not an acceptable tweet. Then he goes out there and makes these lies like this. I'm surprised it hasn't gotten community noted on Twitter yet, because it really should be at this juncture, because this is complete misinformation and a complete lie that's being posted. This was posted during the point where they were praying at the RNC, and so they were not asleep whatsoever. Maybe it's not getting community noted because it's, quote, a joke or something like that. But Mark's not joking here. We know exactly where he stands based on his prior tweets. He wants Trump dead. This is what this is about, and that's the whole deal. So God bless Gina Carano as usual. And this is pretty good right here. Gina Carano has also said, would Lucasfilm or Disney like to comment on one of their actors in The Mandalorian promoting and at very least not backing down and calming the actual abhorrent rhetoric on stage about joking for the assassination attempt failing to kill President Trump? Or is calling for peace between neighbors like I did the only values that get you, that you find abhorrent, making life dangerous statements towards your female cast members to broadcast out to Hollywood press and the world? Not this one, though, right? Or last week's Mark Ruffalo comment. All the ones are well documented before. So she knows. She knows exactly that she's got the biggest fodder ever for her lawsuit. It's showing that Disney are complete liars. It's showing that they totally wrongfully terminated her, in my opinion. And gosh, let's go, Gina. I hope you take these people down once and for all. All right. Leave a comment down below with what you think about this. Hit the like and subscribe button. Make sure to check out my awesome science fiction, Justified Saga of the Nano Templar on Amazon. We'll be back soon.